Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Our mission here, as always, is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Cut through the noise, pull out the really important bits of knowledge, and give you that shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. Today, we're plunging into a really captivating world, the enchanting and emotionally charged romantasy novel, Immortal, Lyon's Odyssey of Love and Sovereignty, by Lynn. We're working through a detailed narrative summary for this one. Our goal isn't just to, retell the plot, but to dig into the surprising insights hidden in Lyon's incredible journey.
That's exactly right. Yeah, our mission is to explore this very layered story. We're focusing on that fascinating mix of love, power, identity, destiny, really, all seen through Lyon's evolution, which is quite something. She goes from this grieving granddaughter to, well, a sovereign leader who reclaims her power and basically crafts her own fate. We're definitely on a lookout for those aha moments, the things that reveal how this world ticks and the significance of Lyon's choices.
Okay, then, let's dive right into where it all kicks off.
Yeah.
So right from page 1, Lynn throws us into this world that's just steeped in loss and ongoing turmoil. We start in Tianxia. The nation is reeling because the Grand Lady Lan's grandmother has died after this act of betrayal. And it's not just politics. It leaves Lane with this deep personal grief and also a heavy weight of guilt. It's a really stark, emotional opening. Sets the stakes high immediately.
It really does. And that opening scene has this critical, almost mythic event that just drives everything forward. In her final moments, Lane's grandmother, the Grand Lady, she steals the divine pearl lotus. Now, this isn't just some trinket. It's an artifact of, immense power. And she does it to save Lynn, who's been poisoned. What's really fascinating here isn't just that it saves her, but the mechanics of it, the power exchange. So, yes, it saves Lynn from dying, but this desperate act, it comes with a huge cost. It strips Tianxia, her whole nation, of its immunity to supernatural contracts.
Ah, okay, so that's the catch.
Exactly. It basically binds Lyon's fate and Tianxia's fate to these immortal forces she barely grasps, this idea of magical contracts determining a nation's destiny. It's brilliant world building. Reminds you of old myths, pacts with gods that had massive unforeseen consequences.
And Lyon wakes up, not just weak and feverish, but instantly crushed by this weight of her lineage and the sudden burden of ruling. The very thing that saved her life is now like this invisible chain linking her to powers she doesn't understand. There's a real irony there, isn't there?
Absolutely. And despite being weakened physically and emotionally, she shows this immediate resolve. As soon as she ascends as Tianxia's lady, she makes this vow. If she has to rule because of these bonds, she will find a way to get her people's autonomy back. Which raises a really important question, I think, for anyone, not just Lyon. What's the actual cost of a gift, especially one this powerful? And how do you lead when your authority basically comes with this huge inherited debt? She's a ruler by circumstance, sure, but her leadership is going to be defined by reclaiming agency.
Okay, so from that difficult beginning, she's then summoned pretty quickly, right? By her new title, summoned to the immortal realm, the Ivory Towers. It sounds stunning, all opulence.
Mm-hmm.
But that grandeur seems to hide this real emotional coldness.
Yeah.
Beauty there is just functional, a requirement, not a joy.
That contrast is crucial. And it's here we meet two characters who are absolutely pivotal. They're going to shape Lyon's journey and really challenge her ideas about power. First, there's immortal Queen Kaihong. Her grace is described as aloof, mostly serving power and lineage. She kind of embodies that rigid, maybe indifferent, immortal hierarchy. And then Zhang Wei, the god of war, guarded, aloof. His presence just screams authority, but you sense there's something more complex underneath.
Yeah, those first meetings sound intense. You mentioned respect, but also this veiled skepticism, sharp banter, like they're testing each other. And even though they have different goals, she wants leverage, he seems bound by obligation. There's this electric feeling when they're near each other. You can almost feel that tension, that potential, just simmering.
It's really well written, and as the politics heat up and tensions rise, you see their interactions start to shift. The conversations become less formal, more familiar. There's subtle humor creeping in, and this undeniable, unspoken longing. It's not just a romance plotline, though.
Yeah.
It feels more like a strategic alliance being forged under immense pressure. And all through this, the Divine Lotus is right there in the middle. It's both her physical link to the immortal world and this powerful symbol, maybe freedom, maybe permanent binding.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting, especially for Lynn herself. Underneath all that courtly glitter, she starts having these memories surface. They're hazy but vivid.
Right.
And they're not just any memories. They seem to be visions of a shared past with Zhangwei, a past from before the mortal realm.
Which is huge.
It completely blows things open. Was Lion immortal once? Did they know each other back then and somehow forgot? Every little piece of memory she recovers seems to shift the balance. The lotus isn't just a cure anymore. It's like a mirror reflecting her true identity, right at the center of both these wrong stories. It's a clever way to link her personal quest with these massive cosmic stakes.
It totally complicates how she sees herself. And while her personal history is unraveling this really fascinating way, the external threats are ramping up big time. This forgotten enemy of the Wuxin emerges, threatening to swallow both Tianxia and the Immortal domain.
So it's not just court politics anymore.
No, this moves it to a much bigger, more existential threat.
And right at the heart of these Wuxin forces, Lord Dalian. He sounds mysterious, powerful.
And, in a big twist, intimately connected to Lion's own bloodline.
Wow. Okay, so as his forces advance, alliances are shaky, loyalties are tested, and the Divine Lotus becomes even more critical. Its power is now something everyone wants, right? Those who want to reshape both realms. It turns her personal quest for freedom into this huge battle for cosmic balance.
Yeah, exactly. So desperate to protect her home, Lin and Zhangwei undertake this dangerous journey right into the Wuxin's own realm. It's described as this shadowed netherworld, full of artifice, deception, mirrors reflecting these stark choices for their futures.
And this is where she faces that huge choice.
A profound choice. One path offers an immortal, peaceful life. Another, she could become Wuxin herself, feared everywhere. Both offer power, but the cost is immense. But what's truly fascinating here is Lion's refusal. She rejects both of those established paths.
She makes her own way.
Precisely. Her autonomy in that moment isn't just a decision, it's an act of rebellion. Transformation. She claims her own story by refusing the pre-written ones. And that's not just about her, is it? It's such a powerful statement about agency. When destiny seems set in stone, it challenges that whole idea of fate. True power isn't just taking what's offered, but forging your own, maybe difficult, third path.
Wow. Okay. And just when it seems like things couldn't get any worse. Another twist. This one sounds deeply personal. Aunt Shou, the guardian who basically raised Lion. She reveals she has her own deep connections to the Wuxin. That must bring up so many old wounds, hidden histories.
Oh, absolutely. It adds this whole other layer of personal betrayal and complex loyalty to Lion's already heavy burden. And this revelation triggers the final huge confrontation. It plays out across the Wuxin realm. Lion and Zhangwei, they risk everything to restore this life-giving river that the Wuxin realm depends on in its twisted way.
And that works.
It does. They manage it, and in doing so, they earn the Wuxin's, let's say, temporary permission to leave. But there's another sacrifice. Of course.
They have to give up precious memories, connections to their past lives. But then, in a truly surprising moment, the Wuxin themselves make an offer. It seems born out of maybe desperation, a flicker of empathy, a desire for peace. They offer to sacrifice their own memories to help Lion's homeland. It's this shocking moment of unexpected compassion from the antagonists. Shows maybe redemption can come from anywhere.
So Lion emerges from all that, from the space between worlds, and finally returns to Tianxia. She's changed, obviously. Her grace is tempered by everything she's been through. Her vision is clearer because of the choices she made. And she's finally free from those invisible chains, the immortal contracts, ready to lead with justice, compassion, and her own hard-won conviction. She's become the leader Tianxia needed, shaped by her own journey. Exactly. And then, as the seasons turn, Zhangwei comes to her. Quietly, sincerely. He proposes. And their union, it feels earned. It's not bound by power or fate or even those half-remembered past lives anymore. It's built on respect, shared struggle, and this love born from truly seeing each other, promising a future together. It really feels like the culmination of everything they went through.
So pulling it all together, what does this journey really mean for us, thinking about the story?
Well, Lion's journey is just remarkable, isn't it? It's this incredibly emotional, fantastical odyssey. It traces her path from grief and deep uncertainty all the way to courage, resilience, and finally this transcendence into self-determined leadership. It's a really powerful story about finding your true place, not by just accepting what you're given, but by fighting for what's right and, crucially, crafting your own identity along the way.
And that divine lotus, it started as this symbol of debt, right? A binding contract. But by the end, seeing it glow in her eyes, it's not a burden. It's a powerful reminder of the choices she made, the love she earned, and the autonomy she fought so hard to reclaim. That's quite a transformation for a central symbol. It really mirrors her own growth.
Perfectly put. And with Zhang Wei beside her, Tianxia is poised for real, hopeful change. A future shaped by its people, guided by empathy, and protected by this new unity forged across realms. It's a testament, really, to the power of self-determination and connection. Shows how even ancient curses or bad deals can be overcome by sheer conviction.
Which leaves us maybe with this final thought to ponder. How much of our own lives do you think are shaped by unspoken contracts or inherited legacies? Things like family expectations, societal pressures, things we didn't necessarily choose but that still guide us. And what would it really take for each of us to, like Lynn, claim our own narrative, to forge a future based on our own deep convictions and true unburdened connections? Something to think about.